Zac Efron looks so bad now, it's almost comical. I don't know why people with good facial features take this plastic surgery thing so far that they actually start to look worse. Okay, I'm gonna show you actually something because you might be surprised, but it does not look bad at all right now. Like, in the thumbnail, I put a very bad picture of him, but that's his worse. Now, he really looks good. So he fixed it. Like, he botched it at a certain time, but then he fixed it. Look, look. I'm gonna show you, like Zac Efron, like just like okay. I mean, maybe not as good as his prime, but look, he fixed it. He does not look bad anymore. Like, this is okay, acceptable. I mean, compared to his worst state, like he fixed his things that went wrong got fixed. Maybe he should have, of course, better never touched anything instead, like as in his prime when he was young Chad. But he fixed everything, okay? Like, look, now he looks like, here he looks like a Chad, here he looks bad, but then in reality, I think that it's saved, okay? It's saved. This does not look like an ugly man to me at all. So, yeah, there's that. Think of it as terms of how much of points of attractiveness are you willing to gain versus how much points of looking unnatural you will have to sacrifice. Like, now you're gonna gain like a lot of beauty points, but you're gonna lose a lot of naturality, because if you're gonna lose on looking natural but you're not gonna gain a lot of looks, then no one is debating that that's a bad idea. If you're going to gain a lot of looks and then lose on a little bit on naturality, everyone is gonna think that is worth it. Now I'm talking about where like it's not clear whether like you will look like significantly better, but you will also look significantly uncanny. So what do you do in that case? Okay, that's the part I'm talking about. Look, you're talking about my hair transplant. I'm going to say that my hair transplant did gain me a lot of looks points, but it kinda ruined my natural look. But it is worth it. It is worth it. I don't regret for a second having my hair transplant. I don't regret it at all. Having a hair transplant is not like just something I don't regret. Having a hair transplant is the best thing that happened to me in my life. You understand? Like, when you gain points in looks and you sacrifice points in naturality, or how should we call it? Because naturality is not a word, but looking natural sounds too long. How we should call it? Like, I don't know. Let me know, guys, in the comments how we should call, like, this code. Welcome to the stream. He was probably getting wrinkly or something and got scared. I don't think so. Like, I saw a lot of weird titles, like he sold his body to Hollywood and stuff like that. So I don't know about that. The clavicular is going the route of Zac Efron. Do you agree with me? By that I mean, like, he will ruin his face. Do you think like clavicular is going the same route and he will ruin his looks like Zac Efron did? So let's go.
Is Zac Efron's journey from teenage heartthrob to the leading man that he is today. But has Zac undergone plastic surgery to achieve his stunning facial features? Or are these changes simply the result of natural aging?
This is not the question. Like, I mean, we all know that he did surgery. I mean, it's not even like, I don't think he's even hiding it, to be honest.
Instead, the nasal base appears slightly wider than that distant.
Honestly, like, all this analysis, and my conclusion is gonna stay the same. He looks perfect naturally and should have never ever undergone under a knife in his life. Maybe to counter aging, like once he's like old enough, he can do stuff. Maybe he can like fix this teeth thing. Maybe like he has the money, he does whatever he wants. I mean, I'm not giving him any advice or like commenting on his life, but if I was born like him, I would have never gone to a plastic surgeon in my life. Maybe, again, only as an old guy, okay? That's my opinion. That's if I looked like him.
Between the eyes. In 2006, at the age of 19, now what I'm seeing is that there is a closure of the gap between the central incisors. So maybe this is the result of braces that he had, or potentially veneers that were placed. In 2007, at the age of 20, I'm seeing the results.
So if he looks like this at the age of 20, he can have any life he wants, okay? Like, he literally can get married to his love, Stacy, or sleep with as many Stacys as he wants, or get like a good job and make infinite money. If you look like this at the age of 20, you won at life, okay? prove to my earlier point that I said, like, if I was born like him, I wouldn't do anything. And here, like, what, he fixed his teeth? I mean, everyone does that. That's not considered looks maxing, like, to fix your teeth. Although I would say it's the most important thing, but it is, like, so common that even parents do fix the teeth of their children. It's not like a big issue.
Also, I think that Zach's nasal bridge may have been narrowed, and that's usually
So he already started playing. At the age of 20, he's already gone through surgery that is not just teeth. Like, he did something with his nose. Which, I mean, whatever, right? He's asking, but if you were born like him, would you even know about the BP? Listen, when I'm doing this theoreticals, when I say, like, if I was born like him, of course I'm talking, like, with the knowledge. Like, for example, if I have a son who was born and looked like him, I will not allow my son, or I will not advise him to go through any surgery. I will definitely not pay for it. That's the theoretical. Don't be like, don't be like that. To this code, random question. How often do you think chads get approached in public by women? Well, I think it depends on so many factors that I cannot answer you. It depends, like, what niche of chad. Like, is he like a dangerous looking chad, or is he like a cute looking chad? Where does he live? Like, in what culture? Is it like common? Like, are women there more masculine? Are there more for, like, so many factors? Like, I cannot just say yes or no question, right? That's really, really circumstantial. But they do get approached in every place on earth. It's just like the quality of the women and the frequency of that happening will be very, very dependent on the environment and the niche of the Chad. Like, what kind of Chad he is, like a pretty boy Chad or like hyper masculine Chad. I think like a hyper masculine Chad, for example, will be approached more in the gym, while a pretty boy will be more approached in school, for example. So not only it depends on the niche itself and the environment, it will also depend on what niche and what environment. So I cannot just give you a yes or no question like that.
into the result of another rhinoplasty procedure. It looks to me like the tip has been further narrowed. When you look
So he's playing with his nose as if it is nothing. Like, he's done like more surgeries on his nose alone, more than people will do surgeries in their whole life, in their whole body. So, like, his nose alone, this is already like the third time he does something with it.
look at the way that the light hits the tip of the nose, you can see the light reflex off of the tip. There's two spots there, and that to me is more narrow than it was prior.
Do you think, guys, that this min-maxing is valid? Like, because if you look at the guy on the left, like with the blue eyes and everything, you would not think that he would be rejected over his nose. But then you look at the second picture and it's like, okay, his nose looks better. Do you think, like, in the mind of a girl when she's looking at both guys, do you think like there is gonna be a different nose? I mean, look, here he is like a top 5%er, top 4%er, and here he's a top 5%er, he's a top 4%er. Other than that, okay, I'm not even gonna talk about the fame and everything like that, right? But do you think, like, I don't know, like, you can argue that it's not just the nose, but that everything comes together. Like, if you do all that like that, I mean, I can see that argument, but I'm interested in hearing your opinions, guys, in the comments. Let me know, what do you think? Like, how worth it is it to increase your looks like 1% in a certain area? Like, I think my answer would be is that you have to have a plan. Like, you have to have a vision. I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna get healed, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do that, and then, like, you have to have a plan. Okay, he might get an extra 5% in women's desirability. I don't think like he's an inkwell here. I don't think like he cannot get a girlfriend or he cannot get a one night stand here. I don't. That's the thing. What's an increase in 5% if you're already like? Is this fall into the category of like, I'm never enough? Like, no matter how, I mean, I can see that in his personality because he proves it later by going too far. So if you're never satisfied, you're never satisfied. But would you, like, if you were in his position here, would you spend money and health risks to do what he done to go to here? Would you do it? Yes or no? That's a yes or no question.
In 2020, at the age of 33, mostly what I'm seeing are weight gain changes.
This is a very bad picture, by the way. Maybe it's on the movie or something. A few extra matches, a few extra lays, I guess. I think that he's laying with so many women that he does not even have time to sleep alone, okay? Like, I don't think that he struggles. I mean, even though, like, this picture is real bad. Like, he looks like, I don't know. Maybe it's for a movie, like, that he's looking like this. So we will never know with actors, right? Medic and Coping, welcome to the stream. Fun fact, Efron had a car crash accident. The jaw is reconstruction surgery, not a cosmetic one. Yeah, but then if your jaw is destroyed and reconstructed, you can communicate to the doctor how well you want it reconstructed. So yeah, but definitely he had fillers in after that, like in the muscles and the skin. So it's not only bone issue here we're talking about. With his history of, fixing his nose 3 times already by the age of 25, you can believe that he's more open to, like, he's not afraid of going under the knife.
You can see the result of that weight gain in his facial features. One way to tell that it's more related to weight change rather than actual procedures is to, of course, look at the rest of the body, but also to see that the weight increase is now diffusely throughout the face. It's not just one area that's been enhanced, but rather from the temples down into the cheeks, into the lower face. You can just see that there's more volume there. But in 2021, at the age of 34, this is when we're seeing more significant changes to his face.
Why does that Zach look like that? There are theories because I've seen titles like he sold his body to Hollywood, but I don't know. It's maybe like him wanting to be more. I have a theory. I have a very interesting theory. He is short, okay? Let's see. I know that he's not tall. So, I mean, he has like, I've seen on his Instagram here that Zac Efron height, okay? Let's see it. So he's 173 centimeters, which is 5'8" here, apparently. So look, he has a lot of pictures where he's height mogged, and probably look, like here, right? Like he gets height mogged a lot, and maybe that is part of him wanting to look better, because if he was like 6'4", I think that he would have less need to mog in terms of like face and body, because like he does steroids and everything. But that is just a theory, okay? Because we see a lot of people who are 6'4" who go so far into the surgery anyway, but that's like just a theory, okay? Yoon, so if he's the same height as you know what you should be doing, right? You should be inflating your face with helium. I agree. 5'8" these days is pretty bad, though. Face in his case is overriding it. Yeah, but he wants to do it even more, like you see. But again, this is just a theory. I don't personally know him. Okay, Clav is 6'1" and he's doing surgery though, because that is just a theory. It's never confirmed, and people have different reasons for different stuff. And Clav is crazier than Zac Efron. Clav is like, if we had to rank like people by craziness and like impulsivity and decision making, Clav is top there. Like maybe Zac Efron is just more reasonable than clavicular. Have you never considered that?
The jawline all look more refined. His chin, for example, protrudes further than it did in the past. Compare this back to 2011 in a profile view, and you'll see that now that chin has more extension forward than it did previously. There's also increased width to his gonial angle. So if you look at the lower...
This for me is the worst he ever looked. Thank God, like for him, he fixed it later, but in my opinion, he never looked as bad as here. Like here, he looks the worst. Like this looks like genuinely is 6 out of 10 at best, and that's scary with the blue eyes. But I don't think like he looks any good here. Like I can see a lot of girls disgusted by his looks. I can see a lot of girls that would rather date a guy who looks normal than this guy. This here is overkill, right? Botched. He botched it here. I don't know. Let's see if you guys agree with me, and I am gonna make a poll. Is this botched? Yes or no? Very simple. Let me know, guys, in the poll. So there is someone who thinks that this is not botched. I cannot know your name, but if you vote no, could you please explain why would you vote no? Like, why would you think that this is not botched? Let us know in the comments. Why do you think like this looks okay or this looks good? Especially that you know that his starting point, like he already was a Chad anyways. Most people say yes, but there is someone who says no, and I'm wondering why is he, like, is this a misclick or something?
He may have had a custom 3D printed jaw implant along with cheek implants. For me, I'm seeing too much change to just attribute it to a specific chin trauma, and I'm seeing...
By the way, like, I think like here, he's rocking the mustache. I don't know what you think, guys, but I like that mustache. I don't think The majority of men cannot pull off a mustache like that, and I don't think women is into it. But as a man, I look at that and I say like, that's a great mustache.
To just attribute it to a specific chin trauma. And I'm seeing bony changes that I think go beyond the effects of what a fat transfer can do. And because of how regular and symmetrical the increased volume is, I think it's more likely implants rather than a filler type material. I also see some signs of added lip filler. In 2022, at the age of 35, it's possible that Zac may have had some jawline filler. There is now a smoother transition from his chin to the body of the mandible. It's also possible, though, that he may have had a revision of that lower jaw implant. When you look at the gonial angles, they do.
It is funny that for those people, like their faces, they get modified more than we do with our haircuts. Like this guy experimented with his face more than most people experiment with their hair.
Appear less wide. So could this be a revision of his prior implants? Maybe, but it could also be that some areas got smoothed out with the application of filler. The total cost of these potential facial plastic surgeries is $100,000. In our review, we've observed
$100,000 is like nothing, like literally nothing for the guy like that. Like Zac Efron net worth. The thing is that he is like 20 and or 25 millions. So he's a millionaire and he's spent only like 100K. But the thing is that for most people, 100K is life-changing money. It can like be your business. Like you can open a business with that amount of money. I mean, it depends where you live, but that's a huge amount of money. And then of course, like every time you do a surgery, you must have the money to fix it in case it goes wrong, for example. So yeah, I mean, there is nothing for him. Maybe that's why we see him experimenting like that. But came the time for me to share with you my controversial take. I think that it is okay to look unnatural if you're going to gain enough points of SMV. I know that a lot of you will not like this, but listen to me guys carefully. It is easier to cope and say like, if you do any surgery, you're already botched or you're already lost or whatever. Okay, listen, if you are a 4 and you can do a surgery that will take you to a 7, but the price is that you're gonna look unnatural, should you do it or not? Listen, as a 4, you don't have a life. As a 7, if you were natural, you would have a life. But as an unnatural, you're gonna look off for certain girls, but certain people will look past it. And I can give like this easy example and say like Barbie girl, real life. Okay, so let's say you are a Chad and you have a choice of a lot of girls, okay? You'd rather have sex with a girl who looks natural, who's like a natural looking girl, okay? But you do not have that. You are a little bit inquel, okay? So you look at this girl and like she's like uncanny, she looks unnatural. You would still look past that because of how attractive she is. You'd rather be with her than be with a girl who's like a 4 out of 10, but very natural, but she's naturally ugly. You don't want that. And I think that there is a lot of that will happen in the other way. So if you are a 4, you have no women looking towards you. I mean, listen, if you're gonna go from 4 to a 5, of course it's not worth it to start looking uncanny. But if you're actually gonna make the jump, if you actually are going to look better, I don't see a problem with that, okay? That's my controversial take. And I'm waiting for your attacks. I will defend myself because I really believe in that. You will attract the plastic-faced girls, but at least you get something. Exactly. I mean, not only the plastic-faced girls, but girls who are okay with the whole thing. I mean, some girls are like, say, they want an attractive guy, and they want that so much that even if he looks unnatural, they're gonna be okay with it. As long as the harmony is decent, even if harmony is sacrificed, okay? I'm saying, if you look very attractive, if you are very attractive, and you have like few flaws here and there, that is better than looking ugly and natural. Natural can be ugly, and that's a very bad thing. Look, if you tell me that you're gonna turn me into prime Brad Pitt, okay? But I will have like my lining this, my skin weird, like some like weird stuff that is showing off that it's not natural. I will still take that because I know that it will catch a lot of eyes, a lot of people will look at me, a lot of people will compliment me, a lot of girls will want me. Will that be a turn off for a lot of girls? Yes. But overall, on balance, it will be worth it. That's what I want to say, okay? I don't think that is controversial. You've got nothing to lose as a 4. If you're like 5 or a 6, you do. It's much more risky, in my opinion. Okay, now I'm going to address that. You know how standards rise, right? You know how the dating market goes. And if you are a 5, 5.5, 6 today, you're going to be a sub 5 tomorrow. So you need to gain an advantage. You want to get a girl who is better than what you're getting right now, or if you're even getting anything. If you're doing, for example, a hair transplant, okay, so I got a hair transplant that fixed my facial thirds, okay, because you can see that my facial thirds right here now, like if I do like a bald, like, you know, the bald test work where they go like this, it doesn't work because my hair appears fast. Like you can, like a lot of people will do like, and they up to this point they still don't have hair. Well, all this is like new hair because I'm supposed to be bald up to this point. This is all like new hair. Does it look natural? Hell no. A lot of people can say that I had a hair transplant. Did it stop me from ever getting girls? No. Even if they notice, okay? It was not, I mean, listen, I get rejected all the time, but better believe not because of the fact that my hair does not look natural. That was never the reason. The main issue is that sub 5 will need significant and several surgeries. The complication could ruin your life. What life are you talking about? The life of a sub 5 is a ruined life, is a no life. I'm sorry for yelling at you. As long as it is not leg lengthening surgery, it should be fine. I don't think LL is worth it. It is not worth it for now, for like the prices it costs. But if a guy who's extremely short does it to gain like 3 inches, I will not judge him. Even if it fails, like I said, like, okay, you had the money, you tried. But I mean, maybe in the future, it's going to be a more like reasonable, a safer operation. No one can tell what will happen in the future. But you can't become an 8 with surgery if you start on point is 4, 5, 6. Chances are you end up like James Sapphire. I don't know who that is. Let me Google that to see what you're talking about. All you need like the right surgeries and the right base. I mean, it depends on why you're not. So this guy, I mean, yeah, he looks real bad. Real bad. But what is his starting point? Is this his starting point? I mean, this guy definitely got too far, but then, of course, it's a risk, and everyone can be like, can fail. By the time we can do 4 to 8 plastic surgery, we'll have genetic editing, looks maxing in the first trimester. I wouldn't say that. I mean, not every 4 is the same 4 that can get to a same 8. Like, 4s are different, and there are 4s for different reasons, and their chances of getting to an 8 are different. It is a case by case situation. I'm just saying, like, when it is something that is worth it, it is to be debated on its own. Like Zac Efron, for example, I don't know, like,
known for his striking looks and undeniable charisma, Henry Cavill has become a household name, leaving fans upper and lower red lips.
Is this a picture of him? Okay, if Henry Cavill looked like this, I think we all have a chance. This is hopium, guys. That is just my opinion, that looking natural, like, okay, let me say it this way. There are a lot of people that when you tell them about surgeries, they will tell you that I don't want to do any because I don't want to look unnatural. And I'm like, boy, that is not your concern. You are a sub 5. Not looking natural is a concern. Like, you don't want to risk it, but your being sub 5 is the biggest concerning thing ever. Like, that is the thing that is stopping you from enjoying life. Not everyone can fix his situation. Not everyone can do anything about it. But being so worried about not looking natural, like, look, already attractive people are taking the risks. Like, people who already have everything they want in life, they are still risking it. But you, who are lacking a lot in life, is afraid to try it. Like, look at this guy. I use this example, like Tamer Hosni. He's like an Egyptian singer, right? You can look at his face and just know that he's maxed as hell. Like, look at this. Let me remove the comments. He is maxed as F. Look how he looked like when he was young. He was a shin cell. He had a unibrow. Look, like, this is how he looks like right now. Like, look, a total Chad right now. Like, literally, he succeeded every surgery he wanted. Like, this is how he looked like when he was young. This is what he looked like when he was young. And now he looks like this. Now he looks like this. Now he looks like a Giga Chad. This is a big W, I see. And so this guy who has already, by the way, when he was looking like this, he was extremely rich, one of the most famous singers in the Arab world, and he got all the girls that he wanted. He got everything that he's ever dreamed of. He does not need anything more. Yet he took the risk to go from here to go to here. But guys who are normal, like, life living, and if you have the money, of course, don't tell me like, oh, I'm poor, then yeah, that's another problem. Okay, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money. But you looking 10 times worse than his initial point, you don't have the fame, you don't have the money, you don't have anything, and you are afraid of trying something because, oh, I'm gonna look unnatural. Yeah. Yoon, girls prefer natural men, but since plastic surgery isn't common among men, they don't question it much. Listen. Girls prefer beautiful men. They prefer naturally beautiful men. But the beautiful part is also important. So if you are natural but ugly, you should try by sacrificing some of that natural to get some beauty. There is no problem with that. I mean, you can fail, of course, but it is a risk, and sometimes you have to try. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's not worth it. It is a case by case. Like, if you send me your face and ask me, should I do this or not? I can ask you a lot of questions about your life, and I can tell you, like, bro, I think you should do it. Bro, I don't think you should do it. It's a case by case. But being afraid of just looking unnatural just for the sake of it. Oh, I'm afraid of looking unnatural, so I'm not gonna even look into it. I'm not gonna look at what are the surgeries that are available to me. I'm not going to look for the best ROI for myself just because I'm so afraid of looking unnatural. Like, no, that should not be your concern as a sub 5. As a sub 5, you should think, is it possible for me to save my life, yes or not? Is it possible for me to ascend? Is it possible for me to change anything about the situation? That should be your concern as a sub 5, okay? This reminds me of my average friend. He earns 200k and spends 20k on plastic surgery, and he went from a 5 to a 5.5. I mean, he earns 200k. He can spend more than that. Like, he can do like fillers, he can do like a hair transplant if he has an issue there. He can fix his nose. He can go to a 6.5 and have a significantly better life, and then use that money to style max, to travel to geomax, and have a better life. But if he's concerned, like, if what is stopping him from doing all that is the fact that he does not want to look fake, then I don't think that's a reasonable reason to not try to improve your life. That's it. I think the possible outcome is worth the risk. I mean, you are right. Life of sub 5 is not worth... Yeah, exactly. It is not. It is not worth living. And a lot of guys are just like... Yeah. My mom told me a lot of women have gotten physical enhancement because she notices them. And let me tell you, if you look good enough, she will look past the fact that you have done surgeries to look good enough. Look, we all say that Chads get away with anything. Okay, Chads get away with anything. Let me tell you this, okay? I don't get away with anything because I'm not a Chad. But if I do the fillers, like if I do like jaw fillers, like let's say I have the potential to look like Chads. Maybe you don't think so. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. Let's go with me with this example. Let's say that Guidance Vault can look like a Chad if he invents 50k in like fillers and operations and stuff. Like I fix like this part and I fix this part and I look like a Chad, okay? Do you think that a woman who will notice or who will learn, like she will know that I did the surgery, will she become not attracted to me because she will know? Like, will the knowledge of the fact that I have had surgery will ruin or lessen her attraction to me? I don't think so. I don't think it will be possible. If I look like an 8, I don't think the fact that she learns that I have had a surgery will ruin her attraction to me. I don't think that's ever gonna be a possibility. I respect androgenic, all the effort, money, gym he had to put in, insane looks, maxing transformation. He looks worse, okay? That guy did it wrong. That guy did it wrong. He looks worse after taking the steroids because he went too far into that direction and he had a good base. He could have the giant niche. A lot of girls love the giant guys, and he could do that. There are a lot of very attractive tall girls that prefer guys who are significantly taller than them, so he could go for a very tall Stacy and make her happy and be happy with her. But he went too far into the male gaze that he looks like an ogre, okay? He ogre maxed too close to the Mog. He ogre maxed far past the point of Mog. Nah, most sub 5s just have a poor base for plastic surgery. Okay, I agree with you. But those who don't, they are still afraid of plastic surgery because of, oh, I don't want to end up looking unnatural. Looking natural is the most important thing. I'd rather look like an unnatural 7 than a natural 5 or 6 and being afraid of, look, he even had memes making fun of how he looked in the past. Like, this is how he looked in the past because this is like the unibrow, the lack of stuff, and he thinks like he's looking sexy, right? Like, in his mind, when he was doing this, and when he was doing like this, like on the bed, and when he was doing this, like, look at his hair. What is this? Now he looks like this, and now it works. Now when he wants to be sexy, it works. Now when he's like doing the touching his arm stuff, it works. Because now he looks amazing. You have to give it to him. He used his money very, very accurately. Like, compare this to Zac Efron. This guy is the opposite. And I don't think like it looks unnatural if you compare to his past, but if you never know how he looks like and you saw this, you're just gonna think that he looks amazing and that's it. Like, you're gonna look at him and say like, okay, this guy looks amazing. Maybe. Okay, listen. So let's play a scenario, okay? This guy right here that you see on the screen approaches a girl and she looks at him and she likes him and she kisses him or whatever, and now they are about to go to bed. So he invited her back home, they had a dinner together, he cooked some steaks, they had like some drinks, and now he tells her to go to his room and he tells her, listen to me, Stacy, I know that you like how I look, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I did a lot of plastic surgeries, okay? She's gonna be like, oh, really? Yeah, I fixed this, I fixed that. Do you think that will stop her from having sex with him at that day? Do you think she'll be like, oh, no, you lied to me. No, you lied to me. I'm not gonna have sex with you tonight. Do you think that is a possible scenario in this realm? If not, shut the fuck up, okay? I mean, the difference between someone who push it too far and someone who look good but unnatural is the percentage of harmony. Okay, you can name it that, but would you sacrifice percentage of harmony for overall better looks, for overall better features that are good on their own? For example, will I like improve my jaw so hard that will I lose the harmony of my face, but my jaw will be so good that it will attract women on its own? I think that there is an argument for that to be made. I'm not saying it is always the case. Sometimes, like I told you, when I look at Zac Efron, I say it was not worth it. Like, now he fixed it. Now he looks good. Now he looks great. Now he looks amazing. He fixed it. But at the point where like the inshitification got to the maximum, I think it was not worth it. So I'm not like crazy, like yeah or no. I'm talking about like whether it's spectrum case by case scenario. So I'm not for that argument like everyone must do surgery regardless of the result. Of course not. Okay. You have to assume all the plastic surgeries go as planned, like rehab rooms say plastic surgery aren't performed in Photoshop. You will have to take the risk, of course, but then like you can reduce that risk by taking a lot of measures, like trying to go to the best surgeon, trying to do your research, trying to not do the most invasive thing ever. That is all to be discussed, again, in case by case. Like, if you would ask me what should I do, what should I not do, I could give you some advice, not as like a plastic surgeon, but like as a B pillar, right? I can tell you like, I think this is worth it, this is not worth it, this is worth it, this is not worth it, case by case. But if you are going to increase 1.5 point of SMV but lose a little bit on the harmony, like, harmony is not the goal. Getting girls is the goal. Stop forgetting that getting girls is the goal. Please stop forgetting that. Stop forgetting that getting the girls is the goal. And the perfect example here, and I talked about it in my video about clavicular, he can get girls if he just stopped acting like an idiot, but he's still going for more surgeries. Listen, on what earth, in which world, do we look at clavicular and think that he needs a double jaw surgery? Is this what's stopping him from getting the girls of his dreams?
Jeff's side.
I'm gonna rate him 7.5 out of 10. Main facial flaw is his total facial
Here, this guy does not have a good harmony. He has an ass on his like chin, okay?
width.
I'm gonna remove the music because I don't want to mute it later, but we can read the subtitles, okay? David Lade's main flaw is the fact that his eyes in his IPD is slightly too narrow. I don't think that David Lade has any problems getting laid. Nice one. David Lade is 9 out of 10. Okay, 9 out of 10 is good. Chami 7. I think like, okay. He has a pretty boy niche, and I think that he slays in real life. I don't think he struggles with women. I don't think he needs a double jaw surgery, and neither clavicular nor this guy. All these guys look too good. Maybe this guy, like, he looks like taller than clavicular, so he's doing fine. I'm not talking about those guys. Listen, I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the guys who actually need to be considering the surgery, okay? Facial harmony is so delicate. Just look at Zac. Some mistakes can be fixed. He fixed his mistakes. He fixed them. And according to the plastic surgeon who talked about this, it did not cost him much to fix them. Like, he spent his whole life less than 100,000. So that's fine. But if you look at clavicular and think like, he does not get girls because of his canceled third, because of his facial harmony percentage. Like, no, he does not get girls because he acts weird. I'm unironically simping for game. Now, I'm unironically saying that it is about game. You see how far it goes when someone takes you like further. Now, I'm not turning like a red pillar. But when you look like clavicular and he's not getting girls, yeah. Look at these brutal hairline challenges, right? Yeah. This guy, if you tell him to go have a hair transplant, he's gonna be worried about his hair looking natural. Look at his eyebrows. His natural eyebrows look unnatural. So the natural is not even the poor Unk moment. Okay, you're gonna get banned. You're not allowed to call me Unk on my stream, okay? Okay. I have something important now to say. This is gonna be the most important part of the stream, okay? Friendly reminder to put the likes. And here we go. So, a lot of people will tell me that being natural is the indicator of good health, and that's why people are attracted to you, right? But also, they can say the same thing about beauty. Beauty signals good genetic health, good genetic markers. But the thing is that girls, they really do focus on the indicator more than what it signifies, because they're not thinking. And when they look at an attractive guy, they just intuitively know that they should be sleeping with him instead of, you know, thinking about why they're sleeping with him. They just know. They just feel it in their body. This guy is attractive. I want to sleep with him. They don't rationalize that. So if you can manage to fake that and you end up getting the result that you want, enjoy. Just enjoy. Take it and enjoy it. You don't have to stick to rules. If by ascending you risk looking unnatural to certain girls, of course, if you're gonna look like a clown, that was not worth it, okay? If you're gonna look so uncanny that anyone like from 10 meters away can tell that you had certain surgeries, then of course it's not worth it. But we're not talking about that. If you can improve in looks and sacrifice a little bit of natural, then you should do it, because people care about the indicator, care about what they see, care about the phenotype more than they care about the genotype, because they cannot see that and they're not smart enough to rationalize. So when we're talking about men who are sleeping with girls who have done surgery, a lot of you will say, oh, your children are going to be shocked because your children will not inherit the plastic surgery. Yeah, but you're still enjoying fucking her. And maybe that on its own is worth it, okay? Maybe it is worth it that you can get to fuck better girls, okay? Maybe if you are family-oriented man, this doesn't make any sense to you. But at least, like, it has a place, like, but at least it has arguments in its favor. That losing a little bit of naturality, of natural, is not a big deal. It's worth it sometimes, okay? Clavicular says in one of his old videos that he has aspie. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to talk about that. Why he could struggle to get the women he wants and dream about? If Clavicular wants to get the women that he wants, fixing his looks is not the right way to go about it. That's it. We don't have to even discuss this. I'm not taking it. There's no way you can prove me wrong or change my mind on this. The only reason that he's not getting the girls that he wants is because of the way he behaves. And if he wants to get better girls, he should focus on that and fix that. There is no point in fixing his looks. His looks are good enough. Maybe he should leave the US, okay? I would give you that. But with these looks and his money, he should be slaying left and right, 9s and 10s. If he's not doing that, it's because of the way he acts, because of his personality, it's because of his recklessness, impatience, attributed to anything other than his looks, because his looks good enough, okay? This was Guidance Vault, and I'm retreating.